Hope all the data is good and stuff. All right, I hope all the data is good. Good morning. Good morning from the beautiful Las Vegas. This is the Harmonic Trading Club. We want to take a look at where we are now. It's been a few days since we've actually made some content, but after the announcement, we really needed to settle down, let the market do what it was going to do. And a lot of people know that that was not very favorable. To the buyers, to the people who had long positions, whether those were short term scalpers, day trades, swing trades, or long term holders. So we just want to come in and just take a look at a few things. And no matter what it was in this market, whether it was cryptocurrencies, stocks, ETFs, it didn't matter. Stocks, cryptos, foreign exchange, it didn't matter. Everything pretty much reacted. The market, I'll say, the market reacted negatively. And no matter what type of setup you put in place, it was simply not going to hold. And we'll take a few minutes. We're not going to be here that long, but even if we take a few minutes, you'll see here, you see a failed Gartley pattern here. And you know what's so crazy is even during this Liberation Day crap, well, okay, you still see, this is the third, was the second right here. Where's the second at? April 2nd right here, this green one. You still, even though things were bad, and this is Caterpillar, and then you kind of see the retest action after the Gartley field. Listen, people, I don't think there's going to be too many things that are going to excite us here. We just want to take this opportunity to look back and see what was happening. But even though you see this retest here, the market, even in this even with that horrific news, still tried to react off of Gartley. Imagine if there was no tariff news, if there was no horrific fundamental, what could have been in store there. But anyway, as you see me, just look, I'm just going to be looking at random things because it really doesn't matter what we look at unless you decide to come in and ask a specific question, and we'll bring that up. Chances are most of the stuff we look at is going to look like this, where you had what should have been major structure, completely violated. Okay. There are some questions that I won't be able to answer, things pertaining to like, are we in a recession or heading towards a recession? And there are some percentages and things that can suggest that, but I don't think we're there yet. So I did want to take a look at Caterpillar. I always still go ahead and do my checks. All right. I still do my checks and take a look at the incoming patterns to see where they will complete whenever possible. Okay, so that I was looking for cipher there. It's not. Whenever possible to see if there's even an opportunity. Okay, but already knowing that it's probably not going to hold. So I do this already knowing that these aren't going to hold. For example, if I wanted to look at the crab pattern right here, right, and I went in to just set the D leg up, right, and this of course would be, someone still having a counter bias, or some type of long bias. And I'll talk about really what my suggestions are right now too. For now, is because you're getting lower low, lower closes, you're getting violations and breaks. Is that you probably want to either stay out the way altogether, or you want to go ahead and switch that bias and start looking at opportunities to jump on continuation opportunities, trend continuation, and just kind of go with what you see forming. But we're not there yet. So even in this example here, if I was looking for, this would be another loss, right? Let's say I wanted this crab that failed, right? Slowed down a little bit, failed. Okay, this 127. I'm sorry. Yeah, this 127 right here wasn't going to hold. And here's the thing about what we're seeing. This is how devastating this is. So we'll talk about where to go the other way, which are oversold, right? But here's the thing. And this is why this is a lesson for the combined technical scoring lessons that we do. even though you're oversold, you do not have the bullish divergence telling you that this is turning around. So in no way should a person even think in their wildest mind that this has a chance in hell of winning. It's just simply not going to happen. And remember, we're using this to talk. Everything looks the same, so it really doesn't matter which asset we look at. Okay, so this would be a crab pattern which you would not be able to counter. You would lose, right? Because you would go ahead and put a stop right up under here somewhere, and it's not going to hold. And things that we're doing well. This is Intel. We got off of Caterpillar. We're going to move around, and then we're going to look at the kind of like the list of majors. Normally, you would expect Intel to hold here. See, he's right back here dealing with these areas where obviously there was major structure all the way through, right? But you probably won't be able to do anything with that. And not oversold yet, though, which will be under 20. Not oversold yet. But you still can't get long on Intel. Now, for long term, buying Intel at $19, that's a great price. So a long term trader would be getting Intel at a discount. I don't know if that's I'm gonna clean up. I don't need the rest of the stuff anymore. I don't know if Intel is a stock, an asset that people should really be that interested in right now. But you basically, again, you're looking at 3 tests in that, where is that at? Is that 1876 level that it came down to? Yikes. So you see it, this area is so crazy because this area, as I'm telling you, is absolutely a zone in which you would buy this out of. That's in any other times. Back to December, comes back there in January, comes back there in February, in that area in March. And then here's April. Typically, this would be a no-brainer. But since that's not the case, this is how you have to treat Intel. You have to treat Intel with what would be a very, very, from a harmonic perspective, you would have to go ahead and go the other way. And you'd make basically a butterfly pattern out of it. All right, you go ahead and you take this. So this is really deep, more than 786, but does not exceed X. The C to the top doesn't really matter. And then you could look at 2 ways, and this is all in the butterfly class. A to B is equal to CD action, which I think we have already. A to B is equal to CD action. Oops. Let me put him right on there perfectly, right? And then the entry would be, I would suggest not 1807, still a good price, but there's one more that you could do with this, and that's just going ahead and using that 127 inversion of A to X. And this would be just complete. This would be doing a full butterfly down here. Okay, so that's in tracking Intel. To get Intel at $16, that's what I'll be looking at. But in terms of short positions, shorting it or putting in some puts on some options, I don't quite see that yet. Let me come a little closer and see if anything makes sense to me. Because, I mean, while I'm doing this, I still have to look for opportunities for myself, right? So you got the close here, and then once this closes in 36 minutes, you will probably have a red candle, lower low, lower close versus this price action up here at 1934. So if I line that off, I'm going to move our little Garley's guy thing out the way and take the A to B is equal to CD pattern off because he's not going to be a part of this. But bam. So yeah, so you're getting a lower low, lower close here. You're going to get it definitely after this, but you really want to violate and take out this part over here. That's what you really want. You want to take this guy out. And it looks like right now he's going to take that guy out. And if he takes that guy out, it'd definitely be time to start looking for the next level, which there isn't one. The next level I can tell you would be based off of Fibonacci, and that would be if he breaks and closes beyond here. Right here, so you break and close, you get to around 1850. I can tell you pretty much the next step is going to be based off of Fibonacci, and that's this level here at 1638. Okay, so that would set up. Yes, you did see us switch the bias on this live, but also keeping an eye on the butterfly for a potential counter, depending on what things look like there. But yes, you really did see me look at least for myself. There's a disclaimer on the Harmonic Trading Club page. We don't provide trade signals or give trade advice. I'll break down the market technically, provide education, and I might talk about things that I'm interested in. So as always, consult with a financial advisor of your choice before putting your capital at risk in these very extreme markets and conditions where you can lose not some, but all of your capital if you don't know what you're doing. And as you know, it's no secret, pretty much the entire world is down right now. And I even got beat up pretty bad last week. Now, I was able to catch up when I was able to mellow down and settle down Friday. Luckily, things slowed down enough for me Friday to kind of get like a little bit of a groove, a little bit of a rhythm to start sorting some things out. But as I'm talking about right here, I just came to the 1 hour chart. No reason for me to come that closer. I don't really scalp on that level, but I still would be interested in this lower low, lower close, H3C opportunity, closing after that. And at that point, depending on where that is, depending on where that closes at, I don't know where it's going to close at. We have 33 minutes, and we can see what the low is. It's going to close somewhere in this range. Here's the low, the high is at the top, the wick. This is the low right here. So in the worst case scenario, if this closed at the low, right? If it closed at the low, taking out this guy here, because as I'm going to keep my eyes on, I'm going to come check that in 30 minutes. I'm definitely going to come check that in 30 minutes. There would still be an opportunity that looks like that, which stops right above where you came from. There'd still be an opportunity that looks like that. So I just need the 31 minutes to go by. Hopefully you guys got something out of that part right there. We got a chance to talk about A to B is equal to CD pattern. We got a chance to throw in a bullish counter butterfly pattern. We got a chance to talk some lower low, lower close, violation taken out, and then typically what would send a trader into a trend cut this cipher. Okay, that's not suggesting, because of course the conditions, that's not suggesting that I would counter here and buy Schellenberger. Okay, I'm not saying shortly unless you started. YouTube is not receiving enough. Here we go again. I don't know what's been happening with my data the last couple ones. It's another reason why I haven't went live, is because I've been having some technical issues with my internet. I'm going to have to increase my internet, which I already have like the second to the top, but all right, okay, so, or I'm just gonna have to record anyway. Couple of things going on here that really threw me off. I'm sorry, people, it really threw me off. There's a bullish opportunity in here, right? In here, there's a bullish Gartley pattern in here that just wanted to use. Here's the problem with it. It wanted to use a bullish engulfing candle, right? And then come fill that Gartley, right? But the problem is there's nothing to suggest. Where's RSI at? It's not showing me RSI. There's nothing to suggest that once this fills, that there's going to be a counter reaction out of it. Okay. This elephant candle right here that we're talking about, this elephant candle, it's only suggesting that this is going to be bearish trend continuation. It's basically a hint. This is a big hint telling you that there's not going to be a counter, telling you that this is going to keep going. So it kind of just gets rid of what was there before. And then so because of that, that's why you see I'm going to get rid of it, because I just don't think that I need to be looking at it or paying any attention to it. So that's what's got my eyes on the bigger cipher pattern. Okay, so sorry, I know I was kind of like going in circles a lot because there's so many things going on, including my internet wanting to almost die off like it did on my last stream. It was the day before Liberation Day, or it was actually Liberation Day morning. My internet, Cox Cable, I guess they said we can't give you any more data. But I'm going to go ahead and throw in them a few more dollars to make sure that it's strong enough and that there's enough data for me to stream. Anyway, so don't need to worry about this right here. Okay, so for Schulenberger, probably a very, very steep drop to $22. And like I said, usually, well, I finally get to say it now. Usually when you get something like, when you get this close to cipher, the market goes and gets a cipher. And I can go back over time and show you time and time again. When the market wants cipher, it will go get cipher. It just will. I can't explain the phenomena. I can't tell you why. I cannot. But for some reason, there's something about that 786 retracement from X to C. All right. So what this does for a trader like me is kind of like already knowing where the target is. Knowing is, for me, this is already knowing where the market wants to go. For me, this is knowing where the market wants to go. So this gives me a target, and it gives me an opportunity to set up. We're on the weekly chart. I don't want to be on the week. I want to come down real close and see what things look like to the 1 hour. No reason for me to jump down into something like a come on, really? This is not it technically, people. I'm sorry. All right, cool. So what this does is this has me knowing that from where price action is right now, I know price action is at 33, and I know price action wants to go to 22. That's an $11 drop. Okay, that's me knowing that pretty much that's got a strong chance of happening. Not knowing, believing, I'll say that, believing, being convinced over seeing this happen so many times. And then you got that break, all right? You got a nice cute gap in there. Why the market had the gap again this morning, nobody knows. Of course we do. I wonder why my objects RSI objects RSI. I don't know why. Here, let me take it off and put it back then. Or maybe it was just hidden. It's still not showing. I don't know. I need my RSI to show. Maybe I should have refreshed TradingView before I came on. So anyway, Schulenberger, I'm really, really interested in wondering if I should jump back in there and stay this time. We looked at Caterpillar already. Here's a big popular one, NVIDIA. Now, see, remember, in normal times, we would be laughing all the way to the bank, right? We would be laughing to the bank. You see NVIDIA slow down, at least come feel this, right? Feel this Gartley. And then Liberation Day just wasn't having it, or this correction just wasn't having it. Blows right through it, still oversold, no bullish divergence. Doesn't matter, right? Nothing really matters at all. So this is basically a failed, right? And it's so crazy for me to have to go look out and call out failed advanced patterns, and especially ones like Gartley and Cypher and stuff. But still, of course, we're still going to view the market through a harmonic lens, right? That doesn't stop anything because we know where these entries are, all right? So it's actually beneficial to us. So even though the first pattern that we saw in NVIDIA lost, we're able to look up and look at the second. It's a bad pattern, 51% B, 75% C, and 886 D-leg completion. So we know when it comes to bat and it comes to this stuff, and that's, look, this is all bear, right? Oversold, right? No bullish divergence, telling you this is not going to turn back around soon. So a person has a decision to make. You could make this look like a scalp, but it's more of a swing. Price action way up here at $93. But look at the whole entire 4-hour candle, right? It's the last 4 hours, right? Or today, which the market's only been open for 30 minutes. And then let's just come in a little closer to make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, so market was already down there and then corrects back up. It comes in. That's nice. It gapped down and it came back. That's 1 minute. I didn't want 1 minute. I wanted 1 hour. Okay, so 1 hour. Okay, this candle turned green. Okay, so I must really, 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 really be behind on data for TradingView to not have known that this recovered. So this had already almost filled this down here at 84. So right now, as of right now, with that being green, it's kind of hard to say. It's a green candle with the gaps here on the lower time frames, like 15-minute. We'll probably see the gap. Let's jump down here. Boom. Well, a couple of them actually. No, here we are. Where are we? 4-7. Okay, so not too much, but comes down here. But the other thing I will say is on this 15-minute chart, that is positive. That's positive news. So see, we have to jump around a little bit until we find out. So that bullish engulfing signifies a correction back out of that. But here's the problem: a level of structure resistance was formed on top of it. So all these things are things we have to pay attention to. Okay, this is going to matter. If price action gets back up there, it's going to matter, because I don't think that this really signifies a bullish opportunity or being out the woods yet. I really feel like price action for Nvidia would have to come break and close above 96, and if that were to happen, then you could say, okay, I'm going to look for an opportunity to get long or go to the next level or whatever. But for right now, to be honest with you guys, the way I'm looking at the market right now is to come retest against that level of structure that's been there, bounce off that, and then come and fill this bad pattern. Okay. So I'm okay with, once I know a little bit more, I'm okay with playing inside of this zone for the entire day. I'm okay with playing in this zone all day today. Right. Just whatever happens inside of this zone, those are the decisions that I'm going to be making. Okay. So that's Nvidia. And of course, we had a chance to look at what the market could want, which is this bad pattern. Not to suggest that we would ever be in a normal time again where we would have a super opportunity. Back in normal times, this is what we would be waiting for. And then when it fills, I'd come back and say, hey, the bad pattern filled, and I'd take pictures of it and post them and yada, yada, yada. Probably not going to happen here. It's a really sad story for basically to have a part of our strategy taken away. All right. Not going to really we can go look at what happened, have a conversation about how the currencies reacted to it. Okay. This is how dollar yen had been reacting to it. There's a viewer in the building or somebody passed by. But I appreciate you. Good morning. Happy post-liberation week. Leave me a like if you see this video, if you get a chance to put it on replay, and go check out how we have broken down the market. Dollar yen. And I started looking at some of the major currencies, the big guys like the people who we were having a little bit of trouble with. Dollar Japan, name countries that Donald Trump was calling out, and where the dollar was going to be strong and where the dollar was going to be weak. So you have dollar, you're showing dollar strength as the tariffs kick in right now, right here. Well, catching support and using the crab pattern to catch support and kind of make a run. Would have been a good run for a trader going long. The only problem is that price action would have hurt him a little bit, wouldn't have stopped him out. But that wick action, yeah, he would have had on a 4-hour chart. He would have drawn down for a little bit, for a couple of days. He would have been in the red, but then he would have came powering out, and then he's coming back to test some of these areas here, 147s. A lot of people don't understand Forex. You would basically treat it the same way, kind of. If you don't understand the foreign exchange market, it's the same thing. You're basically trading each currency versus currency. This market is actually bigger than the stock market, much, much bigger. When you're talking about all the money in the world, it's bigger than all the money in the world in stocks or business, because the stocks and business come from the foreign currencies. Put it like that. So dollar USD JPY dollar yen having some good stuff here. For dominated at first, coming into the tariffs. Okay, this last field, this was right before they were kind of getting started. Okay, bad pattern, complete domination winner for a trader who would have been aware of that. Complete domination, falls all the way down, and then when it's done, counters, tariffs kick in, and dollar takes over. So the yen gets their turn, dollar falls, and then catches structure here. It's amazing to see something actually work. Kind of makes me want to switch over, leave the stocks alone for a minute, and say, oh, it looks like the currencies actually act right. And then over here, this is devastating short for a trader who knows Forex, who knows what I teach, and would have had probably the most beautiful shorting opportunity you have ever seen in your life. And you only get these type of opportunities with this type of stuff. So AUD falling as the dollar got strong against them by hitting them with tariffs. Okay. So I don't know what structure it found. I'd have to jump back out, but for whatever reason, it found some support. We're just going to be really quick. For whatever reason, it found some support down here, and then you see the reaction, correction back up. But this is all going to be a problem should it get there. It's moving pretty fast too, and this is a reaction of Australia coming up because the dollar's not doing so well. Our economy shouldn't be in question, but there's some questions surrounding our economy and the U.S. dollar right now. So you see the reaction to it in real time, looking at the actual money. So we can switch over and we can get away from the stocks, and we can say, let's go look at the money, right? All right, so I don't want to do super micro. Probably going to be a losing advanced pattern, by the way, of course, right? I think we're kind of getting, oh, no, super micro filled and walking. Amazing just how this stuff works when you're able to see it, plot it out, set it up, and trade it. Now, and like I said, I'm just not in a position where I'm willing to take a long shot on anything. But this bat pattern perfect fill on super micro would have been one. That would have been one. But I'm not, I just can't. I just got to stand by. I'll, not on anything long. It's just too risky right now, no matter the company. I don't care if you're getting tariffed or not. But let's get ready to, so we did dollar yen, AUD, USD. We'll look at a couple more of these. Let's kind of just jump in here, and we'll just look around real quick. I gotta get going. AEP, hurry up. Yeah, AEP, free fall, nothing holding. All right. Okay, picking down. So here's the thing about AEP, is there is actually supposed to be some support here, but he just almost violated and blew right through it. This absolutely every time at these levels, this is a buy. And then the resistance is there at the top of this line, but it's not even oversold yet. It's like no telling. And that was a crazy wick too. 4-hour chart is coming a little bit closer. 4 hours. We don't want to be way out there right now to start. But I don't know. That's definitely a supply zone. Definitely a supply zone. It's just hard to say if it's going to hold or what's going to work. What else? RGTI. Let's hit some of these. Okay, RGTI is winning Gartley pattern. Little bit of scared a little bit with a little bit of static, but being efficient enough. Like you guys have heard me talk about before. For whatever reason, RGTI was able to hang in there. Rigetti was able to stay in there, and looks like it's gonna have a winning bull pattern. I don't think. Now here's the problem. Again, remember, look left, structure leaves clues. The market is going to have a problem with breaking and closing above that right there. I didn't say it wouldn't do it, but it's going to have a problem doing that because of just the uncertainty. It looks like now with that, here's the other part, right? Remembering to look at things through all of your lenses, right? Trade what you see. Bullish engulfing candle. I wanted to jump back over and talk about the currencies, but we'll see. because that was exciting to see. As I just want to go through the ticker real quick because I don't have much time left. I just wanted to take a peek at the market. And I told you most of the stuff is doing the same thing. But this bullish engulfing candle suggests that there could be a lot of strength behind Rigetti. All right. D-Wave Quantum, let's see. Let's go look at D-Wave Quantum real quick. Found some support there too. So D-Wave Quantum, okay, started off by even getting there using a bullish cipher pattern to even get there. Then you have the corrections that started in late February. And then, of course, you have our madness, our post-Liberation Day madness. And then you get this thing finding support for some reason. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you why I found support, okay? This is a sneak peek giveaway. We go look at the fib. Remember, the market reacts to these levels, right? What do you think happened? The market, this is nothing but a 786 correction. This is why knowing Fibonacci is so important, because sometimes it can simply come down to if the market structure is at a major Fibonacci level, in this case, wicking down and touching. So the 618 failed, which is called the golden ratio, of course, right? But you got to remember the 786 is a major level too. Okay. So Fibonacci, always, always, always. So a little structure here, a little sideways, broke, violated that. So let me back up. At the 618, the market actually tried to hold on from 328 all the way to 42. So the market actually did respect the 618. It just wasn't enough because there were too much fundamentals and catalysts the other way, and it broke through. But okay, what was there? The next level was 786. And what happened at 786? It held. Okay. So I just wanted to throw that in there. All right. So this was 786 retracement from this guy right here, right? From this low. It's basically 2618 action, kind of double bottom followed by break and close and a 618 retracement. So one at the 618 didn't get that, but it looks like it's going to get 786. I can't say if that's for good though. I can't say what this is really all about. I just don't have enough on it. Any other big guys? Let's just take a look at a couple of other big guys like Google. So something must have changed because everybody has this little green elephant right here. Google was getting their butts kicked. They've been getting their butts kicked for a while. See that? Google's been getting their butts kicked for a while. But it found support. Let's jump out a little bit more. Come way out so we can see the big picture. It found support right there for whatever reason. I don't know. Oh, I do know. Because that's actually where the support is. That's why. So, and what I mean by that is right here, and right here. It's major enough. And it looks like, so even though it was drawn down into, like stabbed deep down into, so probably become a long wick. That's a pretty good sign. I think it suggests that people were willing to buy Apple at $140. I'm sorry, Google. I think people were willing to buy Google at $140. That's pretty much the only thing I can come up with on why that happened. They didn't really need to feel it go too much lower. They wanted it at 150. You can tell, you can see it. They wanted it. They wanted Google at 150. It's right in front of your eyes. That's basically what we were dealing with. The investors wanted Google at 150. And they got in a little bit of a drop, turned around, and they might be off to the races. I don't know. I'm just going to wait until things clear up a little bit more. Microsoft, like I said, big dogs, same thing. People were willing to get Microsoft down to $350, basically buying it at a discount. I don't like how, as you see, what I have written out, it kept violating these levels. I have them blocked off, violating these levels. This is right in front of me. I'm not going to ignore it. Going to look at this as L3C, lower, low, lower close, right? Creating a low, lower close. I look at this as nothing but a retest of previous structure. And I look at continuation here. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that. I don't believe that this is over. I'm looking at trend continuation right here in front of me. You could say starting point, initial low, outside return, new structure low, outside return, new structure low, outside return, retest previous structure, new structure low. That's very, very simple for me to see. Does that mean that that's going to happen? No, but I'm pretty sure I know what I'm looking at right there. I don't care if it's green. Let's do this. Let's come out to the 15 and we'll watch it, right? Okay. It was just once you got the break and close, this is just a correction. Let me wait for my RSI to pop on. I don't know why everything is so lagging. My data is giving me hell, people. It's giving me hell. And then if I were to throw on a fib, if I were to retrace that, because it's going to come somewhere in line with the golden ratio, it's going to be like something like a 618 retracement, maybe 786. 618 on the dot. This thing is dead to rights as far as I'm concerned. I'll leave the 786 on there. But this thing right here is dead to rights. So I wish that I wasn't recording, because I would be setting up to take a shot. I would definitely be setting up to take a shot. My shot would look like this, using the Fibonacci extension for a target 2, because I'm looking for it to go create another level, extending beyond that. I don't care what's happening right now. Probably wait, let them test up. But I definitely am gonna keep my eye on this. Like I said, and I'm looking for a retest of where it came, and then I'm looking for a violation to this extension here, and I'm going to also be looking for a violation. I'm just gonna go full 1618. I'm not gonna worry about 1414. Let me take him off. Okay, so, and it looks like it's setting. I wish we were overbought, though. That's the only problem. We're not overbought. So, wish we were overbought on RSI. And then so for this opportunity, remember, this is live trading. I'm going to turn on short. I know I'm going to be shorting out of this zone or something. I'm going to have stops right above the structure right here, right? So that I don't get hurt too bad, because that's going to be a pretty expensive option. And targets, I could get my head completely decapitated. I could get completely decapitated on this. But hey, what we will do, right, for testing, maybe we'll be able to come talk about it on another video, is we will be aggressive and we will go trading panel. We'll just do this one in paper for you guys. I'm going to do that live. But on paper, we're going to say we sold, just for the sake of, we're going to say we sold 500 shares of Microsoft. Oops, sorry. We sold 5 shares of Microsoft. Let's just see what happens. Why is it not? There we go. Okay, boom. So that was just for the sake of watching this. So we'll use this one as a lesson, and maybe find somewhere to put it in a back testing lesson. So this will be back testing trend continuation. You guys saw us identify it violating different levels, right? Starting point, new structure low, outside return, new structure low, lower close, outside return, break and violated, new structure low down here. So all we're doing is jumping in on a trend. Classic, simple trend continuation, no patterns or anything needed. With using Fibonacci from the high to the low to measure that, seeing that it came up and that touched the golden ratio, we would have liked for it to be overbought. Okay, and then knowing that when we got this trend continuation type activity, you're going to get a retest of that, which is now going to, it was support here. When he violates it, it becomes resistance. That's why you see the red. Okay, that's why you see the red. We just don't have the other stuff that we want to see. We don't see our overbought conditional RSI, and he's running though. We don't see our overbought conditional RSI, and we don't see our bearish divergence. There's bearish divergence, but it's not overbought to the tune that we want. We would want to see like this one being overbought and then go here. That's what we want to see. We don't have that. But overall, there is bearish divergence. But it's really not divergence, because it is telling you it's going down. We just want a stronger look at it. But if I were to go and tell this to show the positions and orders, and remember, we just did a little paper trade on it, you see it would be up $20. We just sold 5 shares of it. Okay. This is just edification for that little testing that we decided to do on there. So because it's doing that, I'm not going to go mess around and go put my live option in for it. I'll just go ahead and just look at this and see. And then maybe if it keeps trending, I'll look at it again. Or if price action comes back to that level, then I might look at doing it. All right. So remember, we're trying to get as much as we can in Amazon. Most of the stuff is going to look the same, right? So look at Amazon. Look at Amazon. Amazon actually had a winning crab pattern. Amazon, when was this? Oh, it's March 31st, right before Liberation Day. Amazon was kicking butts, and then Liberation Day came and took it all away. Took it all away. So now you see where price action is, but we're not gonna we're gonna stand clear of Amazon real quick. Like I said, we're just taking a look at it. If anything just like stands out too much where we really need to dig in, then you see those are the things that I'm going to dig into. And I might have to do that right here. If this correction doesn't end anytime soon, oh my God. You can see people waiting for Amazon to come down to $1.50. I wish there was a pattern here. It's not. Wouldn't it be crazy if there was, and that's why the market is running like this? If this was like 382 right here, it's not. But if this was Cypher and that was catching, that would be crazy. But it's not. It's invalid. So there's nothing here. There's nothing here. There's nothing. I don't need to try to force anything. I can tell you this is like 786 on the correction from the low to the high. That's why you're seeing that 786, but not a pattern yet. If anything, for me, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be targeting 150. Like I said, you have to kind of turn your bias around for right now. Oops, sorry. Come on. I'd be looking to test these levels. Like, you heard even the news saying stuff like, where's the bottom? Everybody wants to know where the bottom is. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to have to get out of here and go do some work. But you keep hearing even the news say, everybody wants to know where the bottom is. Listen, people, you'll know this for the rest of your life. Look left, structure leaves clues, and now you will always know where the bottom is. Okay, so you have just bypassed them in your knowledge. Okay, anything somebody asks you, where's the bottom? You bring up the chart, go to the day or go to the week. You're going to see the devastating correction. But the one thing is you have the answer. You know that the bottom right now, at least for right now, is 152. And you see there's no reason why the market isn't going to try to go get that 152. All right. So we're not gonna let people play games with us. You guys know that's my whole thing. Not letting people play games and not do stuff like, here's the other thing, not do stuff to us like fake us out, right? Fake us out with this green candle right here, right? Like as if that's a reason the market's gonna stop. No, we know with almost certainty where the bottom is. It's not a question for us. We know where the bottom is. So you're not going to fake us out with this and have us try to go long so you can snap us. That's why I said I have to stay out the way right now, at least on long opportunities, because I'm not going to take any silly losses like that. I would rather take the loss trying to short and get down to 151. To be honest with you, I would rather take that loss and have the market fire back across me long, and I would happen to be the wrong way. Okay, not the wrong way. I would rather lose going short because I understand that that's where the structure is, rather than lose trying to go long when I know that there's no reason for the market to turn around and go long yet. I put it like that. So what else is in here? How much more time we got? And what else do we got going on here? My data is a disaster. Okay. A lot of good stuff. Did we talk about Nvidia? Yeah, we did talk about Nvidia. Did we talk about Apple? We didn't talk about Apple. We talked about AMD, Apple, Palantir. A lot of stuff in here. I just don't like making these very, very long videos. We'll look at Apple real quick and then we'll close it out. Okay. So, time to 7:30. My whole okay. So I just got a message. This part right here is not even my data. This is something that's happening in the markets. There's a halt in the market when Apple stock fell over 4% to 180 after Wedbush cut its price target to 250. Well, I was wrong. So market is data is froze. I can't even pull up Apple. I can't pull up Apple. You guys are seeing that. My connection is strong for the stream. I think it's working for everything else, but I can't get any data. I wanted to pull Apple, but let's see what happens. That worked. Can't pull Apple. Let me see what else is in here. I'm not gonna look at TSM. Let's look at Tesla, and then I want to look at Tesla and SPY. Okay, look at that. So again, of course, we were waiting for, because we're going to. Oh wow, okay. Plot out the advanced patterns. Tesla's Gartley looks like it wants to try to do something, right? Am I seeing things, right? Tesla's Gartley, what's this? 65, and then let me get his D leg together. Okay. Tesla's Gartley wants action. Tesla's Gartley wants action. And you see, oversold. You don't have the divergence, but oversold. Phil Gartley. It's pretty impressive to see it in action. I'm not going to do it now. Like I said, I'm not taking only long shots on anything, but that would be good. And we'll back test it. We'll use it for back testing. Where's our other thing that we did? It's up a little bit still, but we'll use this for back testing. We'll buy how much are those? 232. Let's just, for sakes, let's just say we bought 5 of them. Let's say we bought 5 of them, and we'll just put the stop right up under the low. We won't go too far. So risking 103 to get 190, something like that would be normal. That's what that would look like. We'll test that. We'll see what happens. Which happens first, the stop loss or the target? We'll test that. But yeah, Gartley pattern on the 1 hour. Very tempting. I'm not gonna lie to you. So this kind of makes, this kind of throws everything off when you're asking questions like, where's the bottom? It depends on what's in front of you. Tesla's bottom was, in this case, Tesla's bottom was 215. We already knew it was 217 the whole time. We knew it the whole time. So, not a bad look, but I'm not taking any long shots. The market needs to settle down. Like I said, if anything for me, short-term puts after violations and lower low, lower closes. But that's all. A lot of exciting stuff, once we're able to get a hold of ourselves and kind of it's kind of like wrestling with a bull, like it's been a very interesting past few days, trying to get a hold of this thing so you could find a space to operate out of. And you guys see, I did find some different spaces to operate out of because I like to trade daily. I got some long-term things that I like to do that got beat the hell up, of course. I went and looked at my 401k. I didn't want to, but I went and looked at my 401k, and that was down 50%. I was not happy about that. And then I found myself here coming and looking and saying, look at that. Look at how Tesla came and gave us that Gartley, teased us like it was going to win. And don't want to start jumping around too much, but it's up in the air. Okay, cool. That being said, guys, like the video. I think there's a lot of pretty cool stuff in here. Like it, give it a thumbs up. Tell the algorithm that people probably want to see what the market looks like through a harmonic lens. All right, and learn a few things. Taught a few things in here. All right, got to talk about liberation, post-liberation day a little bit. Right, we didn't really get to do so much of a deep dive on the technicals, but a little bit. Some good stuff in here. All right, share the video if any of you see anybody having a conversation, want to talk about this stuff. Say, let me show you what this stuff really looks like. That's what you're able to do. And then subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. You do not see technical analysis like this on the internet. I'm pretty sure, because if you did, I would see it. All right, cool. You guys take care of yourself. Be safe in the market, and I will see you guys on the next video, recording or live. You guys be good.